We want this to be awesome. We want this to be the most exciting time of life. The party gets
Mm-hmm.
started.
Yeah, and you asked a question of why is this so rare? I think a lot of it is just there's a simple math exercise, even though we joked before we hit record that I don't do math, but I know that we were together with kids a lot longer than we were together
Mm-hmm.
without kids.
Hmm.
And so the natural entropy of a relationship would just sort of start to let it break apart without choosing to go back to that first stage where we chose each other. And so we were having to re choose each
Mm-hmm.
other. Otherwise, inertia just would have kind of had it just dissolving, which is
Mm-hmm.
not an outcome that Clancy or I wanted.
Yeah,
Inertia,
exactly.
entropy. Yeah, that's a
That takes
natural course.
yeah, that takes
Mm-hmm.
intentionality to truly keep things from falling apart, from dissolving.
Because that's what it's going
Yes.
to do.
Right. If you're not intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We really did. The first weekend back from dropping off Tegan, we booked ourselves so many things and just us as a couple together. But or I knew I couldn't just be in the house by ourselves. So we intentionally booked things to go and do that entire weekend. And I think that set the tone for how we have approached this phase of life.
For those that know Frisco and know the DFW area, one of those was we said, all right, we're going to go to Fort Worth.
Yeah, for the
And I know that
weekend and
sounds
just
so
yeah,
simple. And the
but
reason we bring that up is a lot of times when we're talking about this is just travel's been such a big part of our connectivity. And there's bigger trips, but this was something that is, well, depending on traffic, 30 minutes away. And that getting out of the house, like Clancy said, there were no physical elements that said, this is your old life. It
Mhm.
was just us out there in Fort Worth. And that choice to get away was such a brilliant one that Clancy was driving us through.
mm,
I'm curious. So pre last child leaving for college, Tegan leaving for college, do you feel like you had invested quite a bit in your relationship up to that point? Were you more focused on your children and your marriage took more of a backseat?
I will pat ourselves on the back for this one because and we were very blessed to have parents that lived in town for pretty much our kids' entire lives. So yes, we were very good about going on date nights, going on trips, just us.
Okay.
So we were very lucky in that area. We did a few marriage retreats. So we really did try to focus that we're first and then y'all were added in after we were already together. I will say, yes, our kids were very big parts of our lives and our entire, pretty much our entire social groups revolved around the parents of our children's friends from sports activities and those kind of things. But we did try to put our relationship first before our relationship with our kids.
And we were even comical with our kids about it. Like, just
Mhm.
like Clancy's saying there, we would say to them, no, you're not first.
Yeah.
We
Mhm.
chose each other. Y'all just
Mhm.
happened to show up. And we were like well, I shouldn't say every other parent, but we were like a lot of parents that our social activity, like Clancy said, our schedules were very dominated
Mhm.
by the kids' activities. And there was plenty of kids' schedule Jenga that we had to navigate through. But a key part of that schedule navigation was we carved out the spaces for us. And that definitely set us up well for empty nest living.
Mhm.
I can agree with all this, but I might take an issue with part of it. It is my experience that every mother really puts a lot into their children. Now, fathers do too, but there is nothing like a mother and their child.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And
Mhm.
we talked about this. Well, we put our marriage first. Do we? Sometimes, right? It becomes, and I'm not saying it's bad at all. Like there's this link because I've never been a mother. I guess I'll never be a mother, but there's this link. You can tell me if I'm wrong. Clancy, you can tell me if I'm wrong here. But that a very, very, very powerful bond between mother and child that sometimes feels,
To you.
Mhm.
well, I might be speaking for other men too. I'm not saying it happens to me.
It is
Never.
a hard balance for sure, I'll say, but we, like you, we intentionally every Friday night for almost 30 years now had date night, and we go away together at least quarterly overnight for a weekend, and we do travel quite a bit together alone as well. But it is a balance because there are a lot of people who want a part of you when you've got kids and you've got a spouse.